Hello everybody, once again this is Dash here with another ARC informational gift. Today I ran Alpha Tech Cave and I wanted to put this out there so that way other people can see how the fight is done. Once again, everything that I do is unofficial, so I'm going to be commenting and pausing the video as we're going. The way we do it is obviously we go down with 2 to 3 gigas. It was only supposed to be 2, but a third one popped in and we just let it go. There is no limit to the number of players that you can bring other than the server limit itself. So if anybody ever told you anything different, it's completely false. So as you can see, everything you got the 2 gigas. I've got Uthad joining me on his giga today, and we're just mate boosted going down, clearing everything. And you want to do it with gigas going down clearing because the dinos in here are level 620. They will hurt Rexes. And coming up here, we have Allosauruses in here. You'll notice that when I start fighting them, I stop walking forward because the pack leader for the Allosaurus gets a bleed, and the bleed that it gets you is, I think it's either 5 or 10% of your total health. It's a percentage based attack, like most bleed effects are percentage based attacked. So you want to make sure that you don't get that on you. But with the gigas that are out now, normally that won't happen. And you always want to make sure that you keep your mate boost, as you see me right here waiting for Uthad. And this is we aren't rushing. We aren't rushing at all. We're just pushing through, trying to make sure that everything is cleared for everybody coming through, because we have a few people who came in here naked to see if they could actually do it. And yeah. If you're one of the people that gets chosen to be a Giga Rider, you need to work with your partner, so that way you stay in mate boost, you don't crowd each other, and then you work together to take out the Gigas, because they do the bleed damage on you, as you can see in the upper right hand corner right here. That's a bleed damage, and it's percentage based attack. It's very bad. Yeah, basically that's it. You just stay with your Giga friend, and you go down and you clear everything for everybody that's going through. And the gigas, as you'll see me do right here, you have to drop meat, or you have to drop everything, otherwise you'll become too encumbered. You'll see Uthad here in a little bit. He starts to be a little bit slower than me because I just dropped and he hasn't yet. Then once again, wait for your giga partner. As you can see here right now at the top, we've got 31 survivors in here. So there is no limit to the amount of people you can take in here. But just beware, like if you're on a Rex, stay behind the gigas. Do not crowd the gigas. Just let the gigas go through and do what they're going to do. They make it safe for you. You don't have to worry about healing. You won't take enough damage. We get a little bit twisted up here, but we get it straightened out pretty quickly. Yeah, like look how much slower Uthad is than me, because he has to drop now. And as soon as you drop, you're just good to go. But yeah, make sure you kill the Allos really quickly. And now the Carnos too. I don't know if there are Carnos in here, but one thing I would like to point out. Hang on, let me pause this real quick. Oh, I'm gonna back up. We're gonna come back through, because there's something that I want to point out. You don't want to bring anything smaller than a Theri in here. If you do, you have to make sure you stick around the Rexes and whatnot, because this right here is a Prolovia, and they will dismount and stun you. There's Caprosuchus in here, and there's also the Microraptors in here. The Caprosuchus will rip you off the mount, and the Microraptors will stun you and dismount you. And All of these dinos are 620. They will tear through your armor and tear through your health. So just beware of that if you're coming in here on anything smaller than a Theri. Because the Prolovias do not aggro on the Gigas. As you saw, we just walked right past them. So it's just, the Gigas are just pushing through, clearing everything, making sure everything is good to go. We're going to push through up until that point right there, where those shimmering blue hexagon thing is. That right there is where you need to wait. So it gets to a point, I apologize about the audio quality dropping here. I don't know why it does. But you cannot unpod or pod a dino at this particular point. So what we do is we take our gigas and we walk back to a certain point. You'll see just how far back I go. And when you walk back that far, you're able to pod and unpod dinos. Yeah. And Mark Blema right there, he's making sure nobody goes past that point. And once we get to it, I'll explain it. But yeah, you've got to take the gigas back to a certain point so that way they can be potted and you can unpod whatever dino it is that you're bringing down there. And if you are a Rex Rider and you get to this point, you need to clear the way for the Gigas. Because as you can see, this is a timed event. I mean, everybody in this run that we did it was 100% acceptable. It was absolutely perfect. Everybody just moved out of the way for the Gigas to get back there, so that way we could unpod our Rexes and then pot up our Gigas. Everybody made sure to get out of the way of the Gigas because the Gigas are the horrible, horrible turn radius. But everybody on this run was absolutely amazing in making sure that they got out of the way of the Gigas. I'm going to be fast forwarding through a few parts, or well, one part in particular here, because it's just a whole bunch of standing around waiting for everybody else to get back up there. Okay, so this point right here where I'm at is where you can unpod your Rexes. I missed throw because Uthad had walked his Giga there, and then you just, the Giga Riders, they pot up, they get on their Rexes, and then they go back down to the doorway. And this right here is where it's beneficial to have two types of Rex lines. For myself in Extreme Armory, we have two types. We have a rider line and an AI line. My rider line has more weight and stamina than the AI line because obviously the AI line is just health and melee. With this, I actually have stamina and weight, so that way when it comes time to, I can run the entire way. So basically at this point right now that the Gigas have been potted up, everybody is making their way down on the Rexes. And once again, Mark Blema still has his Rex right there blocking the way to make sure nobody goes past there. Because you have to go through, only 10 people are allowed to teleport up to the boss at any given point in time. So you need to make sure that you don't send up more than that. The reason being is because if you send up more than 10 people at a time, people will get teleported into the walls. They will get meshed and die. Everything on them will get just straight deleted. And you don't want that because that could be your tribe member or your friend that you're bringing along on the Alpha Ascension run, so that way you both get the extra 15 levels. But it's really easy. You can see everybody starting to funnel in now. now that the Gigas are out of the way. And there was Shy, he purposefully did that so that way the Prolovia would come out. And as you see, everybody that was in the immediate area, they all went to kill it, so that way it didn't kill Shy. So I have our Discord disabled. As you can see, I am in Discord. I have it disabled so that way you weren't the video wasn't recording everybody else. But what I'm doing right now is I'm starting to call out names. It's the first 10 people directly around the front of it to go towards the front, which you'll see here in just a few moments. And my video quality goes crummy here again for unknown reasons. But I will be posting a link to the Discord server that we use to host these free Alpha Ascension runs. I'll make sure to put that in the description of the video, so that way everybody who watches, if you aren't part of that Discord yet, you can go. All the runs are 100% free, and you'll see just how easily it is. We got down the final dinos down here were killed before the 5 minutes were up for coming into the fight, or coming into the cave. So what I do when I'm in this portion of the cave, I'm wearing desert gear because it's the ultimate heat protection gear, apart from hazard. But once you get past this point up here, it turns to freezing cold instantly. So either come bearing extra health brews to get past the freezing cold, or bring two pieces of Ascendant fur, preferably the chest and the legs, because those have the best hypothermal protection. Hypothermal protection protects you from the cold. Hyperthermal protects you from the heat. And when you get to this point, don't do like Mark did. Push past, so that way you aren't crowding the entrance. And then everybody has to dismount their dino. So that way when you go up, nothing foul happens. Just make sure you dismount your dino when you get to this point. And me spinning around here as I'm trying to make sure that we've got all 10. I'm trying to count while everybody's moving. And then there's our 10th person. See, right there it says only up to 10 survivors allowed per teleport. That's what gets a lot of people, is they see that and they're like, "Oh, only 10 people are allowed in there." No, it's only 10 people per teleport. Right now, what you aren't hearing is off on voice comms. I'm letting the other host know, "Hey, by the way, we're getting ready to teleport up." And for if you have amazing flat gear, it does provide hypothermal protection. It protects you against the cold. So it takes 1 minute for everybody to teleport up. Well, per teleport. So you teleport up, there's a minor pause, and then bam, you're loaded in up top. And at this point, I've let the other people down below know, who's basically going to be the gatekeeper now, "Hey, first group has made it up." And then immediately, as soon as you get up and you load in, get out of this area, because 10 more people and their dinos are getting ready to appear right there. Coming down this path, there's a few explorer notes. If you want to grab those, you can. If you don't already have them, they'll give you a chunk of experience. And then this right here, there's absolutely nothing up here but just ooh-ah pretties that you can stop and look if you want to. I didn't, because I wanted to make sure me and Mark got up to that point up there so that way we could make sure nobody goes past. Because we've had it to where as soon as you enter the boss room, the boss gets engaged and everybody else gets locked out. Which you don't want. You don't want that. So what Mark and I do is we lock ourselves across the door to make sure other people can't get through.
I had every intention of doing that. I'm body blocking it.
That I was using in-game voice to talk to him there, so that way we made sure that everybody cannot go past until we get everybody up here.
About that curry.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to fast forward the video past until we get everybody up here. All that's going on right now is we're waiting for the other 3 groups to teleport up so that way everybody can enter the boss arena at the same time. So I'm going to fast forward. You see it's just waiting around, not really doing anything. More waiting around. More waiting around, looking down at the island. This is me telling everybody to squish up because when you've got 40, 50 people on this fight, you want to make sure there's room for everybody. So that way we can go ahead and get in quickly. Just a bunch more waiting around. Okay, so I'll back up here a little bit. Right here, everybody's up here. We allow everybody into the room. The reason why everybody's going over to the left is, let me pause the video right here, is right up here. I want to draw your attention if you guys can see my mouse. Hopefully you can. Right up here is one of the Extinction Chronicles Explorer notes. There was a few of them. One was placed in here, one was placed in Manticore, and one was placed in I forget the other fight. Rockwell. The other one was placed in Rockwell because there was a total of 3 brought out at this time. So up here is an Explorer note which will give you quadruple experience. So if you want to go ahead and get that, go ahead and get that. But that's why everybody sits here and moves up to the left, and everybody slowly funnels in. So I'm going to skip ahead. Everybody's still just funneling in, making sure you don't go past a certain point because once again we've had it get triggered to where the boss fight will start with people still locked outside. The reason why we're waiting here is because one of our members had DC'd, and yeah, they're trying to talk about it in ally chat because we had allied most everybody, and we found out he DC'd and he died, so we had to get all of his stuff, and then he lost his Rex, but it was all taken care of. And okay, so now we're going up. Everybody's rushing to get the Explorer note before the fight starts. So once the fight starts, everybody has to crowd around what looks like the implant on your arm. Just everybody get up there and crowd it. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be biting because there is a fraction of a second after he becomes active before his shield enables. Like right there, he just took damage. You see, there was a fraction of a second before the shield and he loses health. So what he's doing right now, that shooting that red beam up, he's summoning ads. You've got the ground ads and flyers. Normally you can ignore them. I prefer to kill them because, I'm me. And right now everybody just attacked the boss and Discord is like, "Oh my god, he's already transforming. He's already invulnerable." But the one thing that I want to make sure is that everybody knows to watch your health, because as you can see, the flyers are above just shooting at me. Okay, see right here, I'm taking out the attack drones in the sky until other people are attacking him. And right here, he's already transformed into his first form. Okay, there's so many people on him that it takes me a while to get over there. And the first one, he can transform into 3 things. It's dragon, monkey, or broodmother. The 3 bosses that you fight on the island. And with everybody attacking him, he goes down fast. You want to kill the dragon as fast as possible because he does breathe fire, but that fire is a percentage based damage. Again, same with the Giga Bleed. And he obliterates. Once we get enough people on him, he just stops. And then right there, he's taking damage for that split second. So the one thing that I did is while everybody else was on their Rex, I went ahead and potted mine up because I wanted to be ready. If you join the Discord server that will be in the link, it'll explain to you why we did that. Right there, I got somebody who came over and helped me so that way I could pot up my Rex. And he's already getting ready to transform into the second one, which was Monkey for us. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here looking for flyers to start shooting. Actually, no, at this point in time, I'm looking for the boss. And then I find it. It wasn't Monkey, it was Broodmother. And it's basically a weakened version of the Broodmother that you fight on the island. I think it's comparable to the Broodmother version that you fight on the center, which is obviously a lot weaker. And as you see, everybody just gets over there, starts munching on it. I'm shooting it with a shotgun. I'm still damaging it, and then I reload and I start to take out flyers again because well, they're just shooting people. But yeah, everybody starts munching on him for the fraction of a second. He's already down to half health. And I get told that one of my tribe members has died. I didn't see it. So here I go run and I grab his body. The one thing that I also want to point out is if you are on foot, the defense units completely ignore you. In this right here, I just grab all of his stuff, and then I'm good to go. Defense units completely ignore non-mounted players. The attack drones, however, they attack them. So right here, his third transformation is Monkey. And it's basically the same exact thing. He's a weakened version of the one that you fight on the island. As soon as enough people get around him, he drops really fast because obviously the Rexes that we have on official servers now are pretty intense. You see how fast it just dropped. And then once again, everybody's sitting there attacking him. You just want to keep dealing damage to him as fast as possible. The one thing I would like to point out, though, when we did this run, I'm actually going to pause this. There's a lot of flyers in the air. So what we're planning on doing with our next fight is bringing in some off-type dinos, specifically Velenosaurs, because they have the ranged attack, and we're just going to take all those out. There's going to be like 3 or 4 of us who do that. So that way the flyers aren't killing people, because that's how my tribe member Mark Blima died. It's because all the flyers targeted him and then fired and then just completely killed him. Just one shot him, just completely dead. So we're going to be taking in some Velenosaurs to take out the flyers next time. And this is me trying to get his Rex potted so that way we'll be good. And the one thing I would like to also point, if I say this during the fight, if the timer ever disappears on the top center of your screen, just know that it is the server lag. You aren't DCing or anything like that. It's just server lag. As soon as the server stops lagging, it'll pop back up. Yeah, right now the boss, he's almost dead. He's got barely any health left. So you can see all of the Rexes are going over there, and yeah, he right here he transformed again, and we have to sit around and wait for a second while we're like, well, where'd he go? But he transformed again. One of the other members found him because if you don't kill him fast enough, he transforms 4 times, and they'd already killed him by the time I got there. and then that fraction of a second, like look how many flyers are there. That's how Mark died. So that's why as I'm walking up, I'm just doing the best I can to take them out so that way nobody else dies. And then right here, as soon as he becomes vulnerable again, give it a moment. Right there, he's been defeated. At this point in time, I'm talking over everybody, telling everybody to pot up your dinos because it explains it in the Discord that I'm going to link once again why you want to pot up your dinosaurs. So as you see, everybody's potting up their dinosaurs and everything is just going. We completed it in 35 minutes, and that was waiting like 10 minutes waiting for people. So the more people you have, the better it is. And that right there is the full alpha ascension run done on official servers. Because I only play official. I don't or official PVE. This is done on official PVE servers. All right, I'll be quiet here for this next part so you can watch it. And that right there is the end of it. Um, I hope everybody found this video very instructional, and I hope you got what you wanted out of it. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Keep on surviving.